Namaste viewers, welcome to Gnana Degula channel. In the story sessions, we will go through the story of Ratnamanjari. It's a story told by the first doll out of 32 dolls from the Vikramaditya throne. We'll go through that story. So the story goes like this. Once upon a time, of course, this is partly history also, King Bhoja discovered an extraordinary golden throne. When he tried to sit on it, the dolls on the throne burst into laughter. One of the dolls transformed itself into a beautiful woman and it said, King, oh Bhoja Raja, I am Ratnamanjari, my name is Ratnamanjari. We all laughed when you were trying to climb the throne. We all laughed because you are not like the great King Vikramaditya, who once sat on this throne. He was the person who sat on this throne. You are wise and kind. But Vikramaditya was much more wiser. He was unmatched in his greatness. So saying, it continues and tells a story. It says, let me tell you a story and then you can decide whether you deserve to sit on this throne or not. And the story begins now. Long, long ago in the city of Ambavati, this is the story of Vikramaditya. Ambavati was a city. There, a king named Gandharvasena was ruling the kingdom. He had married, he had 4 wives, each of them one from a Brahmin queen, the other one was a Kshatriya queen, the other was a Vaishya and then the Shudra queen. All the 4 wives had children. The first Brahmin's queen gave birth to Brahmanita. His name was Brahmanita. The second wife, a Kshatriya queen, she gave birth to 3 sons called Shankha, Vikramaditya and Bhartrhari. 3 of them. This Bhartrhari should not be confused with Bhartrhari, another king. Anyway, from the third wife, Vaishya queen, he had one more son called Chandra, and from the Shudra queen he had a son called Dhanvantari. They were all named this way: Brahmanita, Brahma, and then for a Kshatriya queen, 3 sons. She gave birth to 3 sons: Shankha, Vikramaditya, and Bhartrhari. Vaishya queen gave birth to 1 Chandra, and then Shudra queen gave birth to 1 Dhanvantari. Now, as time passes, Gandharvasena, the king, passes away. Now, the Brahmanita becomes a saint sannyasi and he goes away. Whereas the 3 sons of Kshatriya queen, Shankha, Vikramaditya and Bhartrhari, out of them, Shankha was very jealous of his brothers. After the father died, he became jealous of his brothers because he wanted to become the king. So this Shankha was troubling all Vikramaditya, Bhartrhari, all other sons. He was Brahmanita, anyway, he was not there. He set out to the woods for penance. But all others, Vikramaditya, Bhartrhari, Chandra and Dhanvantari, this Shankha was afraid of all these people because they would come in his way of becoming a king. Therefore, he used to trouble all these brothers, and upon being troubled, Vikramaditya and his other brothers, they all fled the kingdom. They all left the kingdom and then went to forest. But Shankha sent soldiers to kill them, to hunt them down. Very sadly, Shankha's soldiers got hold of, they were able to catch Bhartrari, they were able to catch Chandra, they were able to catch Dharmantri also, and they all killed them, killed all these brothers. But Vikramaditya escaped. Now Shankha was afraid because Vikramaditya would any day he may come back, return and take revenge upon him. So he consulted all his ministers, consulted astrologers, all those people. Astrologers told him Vikramaditya was meditating. They found out that Vikramaditya was meditating in a forest and to gain more power, and he was destined to become a great king one day. So Shankha was afraid of Vikramaditya. Shankha sent spies to find them. When the astrologers told them that Vikramaditya would take revenge, and then he was meditating in a forest. Now Shankha, this brother, he tries to find out the whereabouts of Vikramaditya so that he could be killed, and then his power as a king would be safe. He plans to kill Vikramaditya. The spies, Gudachararu, they all discovered Vikramaditya somewhere. He was meditating near some lake. And then they find out all these things, and then they inform Shankha. Shankha now, he devises a plan with a tantric, a sorcerer, with a tantric, with a Mayavi, tantric, to kill him. So the tantric, he engages the services of a tantric. Tantric, he somehow comes into contact with Vikramaditya. He convinces Vikramaditya to perform prayers to goddess Kali in a temple. He says, you pray to goddess Kali, she will help you, and she will, some kind of a, he will convince him so that he can book him and then kill him. So now Vikramaditya does all this, meditation in the temple of goddess Kali. He worships Kali, and Tantric asked Vikramaditya to bow down during the ritual. Tantric, he will ask Vikramaditya, you bow down, so that you can bow down and then pray to goddess Kali. Now Vikramaditya was, from the beginning he was suspicious. Now he became more suspicious. Vikramaditya became more suspicious, and he thinks for a while and asks the Tantric to do it first. He asks, you please show me how to bow down to Ma Kali. All those things he will ask. So now, actually the original plan was, when this Vikramaditya bows down, the Tantric will make him to bow down, and immediately Shankha, who was hiding nearby in the temple, Kali temple, would come and then offer him or kill him. That was the plan. But that plan changed a little when Vikramaditya grew suspicious and asked Tantric to bow down first. Shankha, unaware of this, who was hiding nearby, thinks that Vikramaditya himself has bowed down, jumped out of his hiding place, took out his sword, and then immediately kills the Tantric himself, thinking that he was Vikramaditya. Now Vikramaditya immediately realizes uh, cheating, this thing, the cheat, and then seeing this chance, Vikramaditya grabbed Shanka's sword and immediately killed him there. So now both the Tantric and the Vikramaditya, the Shanka is also killed now. Vikramaditya, with lot of courage, grabs the Shanka's sword and then kills him. After Shanka being dead, Vikramaditya returned to Ujjain and he becomes the king. The people of Ujjain were overjoyed, for Vikramaditya was a just and wise ruler, because the earlier ruler Shanka used to trouble them a lot, trouble with lot of taxes, trouble with lot of misrule, all those kinds of things were there. Now they are all happy that Vikramaditya is the rightful owner, and then they had heard that he was a just and wise ruler, so they welcome him. So now, one day, Vikramaditya, he is hunting in the forest. He lost his way. He came across while he lost his way, and then while passing, he came across a palace and met Ludavaran, who was the advisor to the king called Bahubal. He meets Luthavan, the advisor to the minister to King Bahubala. Luthavan told him about a magical golden throne that King Bahubal had received from Lord Indra himself. Lord Indra had given Bahubal this throne. This throne was said to make a king powerful and wise. So now Vikramaditya eventually meets King Bahubal, and then he makes a good friend of Bahubal, and as a gesture of goodwill, Bahubal offered him this gift, this Vikramaditya's throne itself, this throne which he had received from Lord Indra. He asked Vikramaditya, asks him, and then Bahubal gives him. When Vikramaditya asks for the golden throne, Bahubal, recognizing Vikramaditya's greatness, very happily he gives it to him. When Vikramaditya brought the throne to Ujjain, the people celebrated for a number of days, because the throne was very, the Simhasana was a very prized possession. They all celebrated. The king also organized a grand ceremony that lasted for almost a year, and he donated lot of cows, lot of whatever the requirements of the people, to the poor and the Brahmins and the needy. He looked after his citizens very well. So this was the story which Ratnamanjari told, and then Ratnamanjari warns the king. After she finishes the story, Ratnamanjari asked the king Bhoja, "Have you ruled with the same courage? Have you ruled with the same justice? Have you been generous as Vikramaditya? If not, if you are not so generous, not so courageous, and not so just, you should not sit on this throne. For this throne is meant for only kings like him, who have been very wise, very virtuous, all those qualities." With these words, Ratnamanjari, the lady, the doll which had taken the shape of the lady, it transforms back into the doll, and then goes and it sits on the throne. Now King Bhoja thinks for a while. He feels that he is unworthy, and he says, okay, let me leave it. He left the throne. That night, he could not sleep thinking about Vikramaditya's greatness. So the first story is it teaches the qualities of a great ruler: bravery, wisdom, and kindness. King Vikramaditya's life inspires everybody to be just. Particularly, King Vikramaditya's life inspired Bhoja to be just, generous, and fearless in his actions. Viewers, with this story, we will conclude the first story by these 32, one of the 32 dolls. I hope the story was quite interesting and curious. Please like, share, and then subscribe to my channel. Please post your comments in the comment box. For the benefit of the readers, we have put this story in the description box. Thank you, viewers.